This triple slide bath and a half Newell coach is priced for only $140,000 here at Motorhomes of Texas. And usually we're trying to find you guys the $2-3 million coaches. But when I saw this coach at this price, I had to get you guys a tour. This is a tremendous value when you look at the Series 60 Detroit diesel. It's had an extensive remodel on the interior, and with the Newell coach bones, the chassis, the sidewalls, this is an industrial machine unlike any other motorhome on the road. And the new Newell coaches are pushing on about $2.8 million. And when you see the interior of this coach, it's an absolute testament for the Newell build quality. Now, a lot of the other Newells of this vintage were going to be either mid-bath or rear bath. So extremely rare to find that bath and a half. Very few motorhome companies were building that floor plan. It's still a floor plan that's popular. Now, this does have the pneumatic air door. We'll show you that in a minute, where you press a button to open and close that door. It is a mid-entry coach too. So not only bath and a half, but mid-entry. When we were at the Newell coach factory recently, they shared with us that over 50% of their brand new Newell production is mid-entry. And there's a lot of reasons folks prefer the mid-entry over the front entry. I'm a big fan of mid-entries myself. And the exterior of this coach has a really cool color. The sun's starting to drop over the horizon over there, but I wanted to get you guys a video on this coach. It's got an orange that right now isn't as bright, but as that sun comes out, it really pops. And this is almost like a pewter color. And it almost reminded me of like a Nardo gray in a different sunlight, but as that sun has gone down, it has more of a beige kind of pewter tone. And then up top, we've got a lot of stainless there on the sides. And this is what they call the humpback Newell coach, where about halfway up, it gets a lot taller in the rear bedroom. Just an absolute classic. So before we take a look at the interior of this coach, let's take a quick look through the bays. Up front here, we can pop this service panel to access the air compressor, the cooling system for the generator. We've got the generator start and stop button, the generator extend button. Here you can see 18,000 hours on this generator. These Newell coaches are industrial grade machines. This coach has 300,000 miles on it, but we've seen a lot of Newell coaches with a lot more miles. And this owner did have extensive service work done at the Newell coach factory in Miami, Oklahoma. He said he's taken it there about twice a year since he purchased this coach about 3 years ago. This is gonna be the basement air conditioning system right here. And I know a lot of the folks out there like the rooftop ACs, but one of my buddies that's a Liberty coach owner out of Arizona that has a late model Liberty coach was telling me how much he prefers the basement ACs. He thinks that they keep the coaches a little bit cooler than those rooftop ACs we see in a lot of the coaches. Now, this is a manual slide tray. It looks like it's got some parts and pieces. He said that the airbags were recently replaced. And these older Newell coaches, I recommend that you've got, a toolbox. When you have something like this, it's a 20-plus-year-old coach, so it's gonna need some love. And the current owner is in the oil business. He's very mechanical. So we've got a manual slide tray here. There's a lot of extra parts and pieces. Now, this is gonna be the AquaHot bay. So this has that big boy AquaHot hydronic heating system. And then back behind this is gonna be the holding tanks. You could fill your fresh water from this side. I know the new Newells have a 143-gallon freshwater tank and a 143-gallon combined waste tank. I would assume that this coach probably has similar holding tank capacities. Now, this bay is actually the battery bay, and I know it recently had new batteries installed here at Motorhomes of Texas. Now, with this slide room open up, I don't know if we can access that bay. That's gonna be the battery bank, triple slide coach. I look forward to showing you guys this bedroom. It's huge in there. Here's just a little bit of storage. And this coach does have Michelin tires. He did say that he replaced them pretty recently. I see a date code of 2022 on the drive axle, 2022 on the tag axle, and 50 of 23 on the steer. So pretty new steer tires on this coach. I mean, those Michelin tires alone are probably over 10 grand. So a lot of value here for 140 grand. This is a bath and a half Newell. I've never seen a bath and a half triple slide Newell at this price point. Here you can see side access to that Detroit diesel Series 60. Here's that Newell coach VIN plate. This does have an actual real VIN number, VIN placard on the coach, like some of the other production motorhome companies we've heard about lately. I know a lot of you have been following that Newmar story. I believe the towing capacity on this was 18,000 pounds. If we can get a camera shot here of the plate on the receiver, it looks like it says 18,000 pounds there, but it's a little bit scuffed up. So that's gonna be my guess. Now here we've got Detroit Diesel Series 60, easy access to that engine hatch. Newell has this kind of compartment back here by the engine with some of the control modules. And I see some chrome piping here in the engine bay. And then coming around to this side, it is a side radiator coach. And you know, there's a little bit of paint peeling. I just want to be fully transparent about this coach. You know, 140 grand, it's not gonna be a brand new $2.8 million coach. Just a couple little, you know, couple little scuffs in the stainless and whatnot. Now they called this the riveted repair. So some of these coaches had like electrolysis or kind of like a D-lam. And what they did is they riveted it. So you could see going up the side of this slide rim right here. And then also right here, it's all been riveted. You'll notice the rivets around this slide rim as well. So, you know, it's telling a story of a coach that has been cared for. The previous owners of this coach did stuff like that to maintain it, to, you know, keep it going down the road. This is the other side of the plumbing bay. It does have a manifold system, your dump valves. Back here is gonna be that Headhunter Mach 5 water pump, as well as an auxiliary SureFlow water pump like we see in the newer Newell coaches. That's gonna really come in handy if for some reason that Headhunter Mach 5 isn't working. You could toggle over to that SureFlow. You've got that backup water pump. Here's a little more storage in that full pass-through bay with the slide tray we saw go out to the other side. And I'm gonna be, you know, transparent. You know, some of this stuff in the bays is, you know, some of this insulation has been worn a little bit. It is a 300,000 mile motorhome. But when you look at these bones and when you guys see the interior, I don't think you're gonna be, you know, scared of some little stuff like this. Here's the other side of that full pass-through bay. And then we've got some more storage here lined with carpet. And then here's the other Cruise Air basement air conditioning unit. And then up front, you can always see the Newell coach number, the last digit. So this is Newell coach 631, and this is a 2002 Newell coach. Cool to see folks, you know, taking care of these Newells and keeping them going down the road. This is gonna be the hydraulic system. This has the HWH hydraulic slides, and these are gonna have more of that rounded edge like what we see in the 4 Travels. This has that pneumatic air seal that's gonna inflate when the slide rooms are in the in or out position, and then deflate when we're running them in and out. A lot of the other HWH slides on the production motorhomes are just gonna have that rubber flange, not nearly that same level of system like these pneumatic air HWH slides. Now, this is a mid-entry coach. Now, one of the kind of disadvantages of a mid-entry is you can't open your door when the bays are open. Now this is your Cruise Air bay, so you're usually not gonna have this open when you're coming in and out of your coach. But let's take a look at the interior, guys. Welcome to Newell coach 631. Does have that pocket air door. We'll just press a button to close that. Now, this is a mid-entry coach, and over 50% of the brand new Newells are now mid-entry because this is such a popular floor plan. And this is the humpback, so it doesn't have quite as much headroom up front here as we are gonna get in the rear of the coach, but this is still that same Newell coach chassis, the Newell coach bones, and it's just incredible to see how well these hold up over time. You know, for a 2002 motorhome, this coach is over 20 years old, but it feels fresh. It's got fresh decor in it. I know that the wood floors were recently updated. The current owner has had a lot of remodel work done. If you look at the ceiling closely here, it's almost like a gator skin or some sort of a embossed leather texture, and heavy remodel done in the rear bathroom. Looking forward to showing you that in a moment, but just an absolute testament for Newell coach. Now this is a triple slide coach. You can see the slide room faces have indirect lighting like we see in the new Newell coaches. Everything is upholstered with leather from floor to ceiling. Even here on the ceiling inside of the slide room, looks like it's had that updated texture. And this design in the booth area is way ahead of its time. This has that half booth look with a dinette chair, and I think you could probably pull over this second dinette chair if you needed, and This is extremely high end with the, the wood back, the whole style of this dinette chair. But some of the newer Newell coaches, we've seen that same style where they choose to have a half dinette and then a dinette chair on the other side to have some versatility. And what a great setup to be able to sit back here and have kind of a breakfast nook or get some work done. And Newell's gonna have the largest slide rooms in the industry. And this vintage of Newell, you could actually open it a little bit and get a little cross breeze going, kind of like a residential style window. So I like that. If it's a cool day and you wanna get a little fresh air in here, a lot of the newer motorhome windows don't open as easily as this one does. I love this part of the coach, kind of a different style desk area than a lot of the other coaches. It's a different height. Now there is some storage below. You've got some nice deep drawer space here, but a cool level of countertop space if you're maybe entertaining. Motorhomes of Texas does have it staged right now with this kind of old school laptop, but of course that could be removed, or this would be a cool spot to get some work done. And again, you have a huge Newell coach window. Now I like what they did with the wine glass cabinet above the entryway here, similar to what we're seeing in some of the more late model Newells. And then up front, we've got the L-shaped couch in excellent condition with the cream color and almost a caramel piping. And then coming to the cockpit area, this is gonna have that signature Newell coach driver's console that can be spun around. It's got the 2 cup holders. So, right now we could put it back here to use it, or a lot of the times you want it next to you while you're driving. I like the simple light switches, shade switches here. We could press one button for the shade behind me to go down. And I'm gonna be fully transparent. There's a little bit of wear and tear on the shades. This coach does have 300,000 miles, so to touch this level of coach at $140,000, there's going to be some minor wear and tear. I mean, it's still a over 20-year-old coach, but coming back up to the cockpit area, you can see this owner really has spent some money on it. This is definitely updated. It's got the Bluetooth stereo setup with Apple CarPlay and a wood grain steering wheel that's in excellent condition. I don't know how it's in this good of condition. I mean, even the upholstery on the steering wheel for 300,000 miles, the driver was wearing gloves, or this has to be reupholstered because it's just in incredible condition. Same thing with this captain's chair, incredible condition. I would bet that this was recently reupholstered. And the current owner said if you do want to talk to him, the sales team here at Motorhomes of Texas can call him on a 3-way call if you want to talk about how he's cared for this coach. I know he does a lot of work himself on the coach. He is in the oil business, a synthetic oil business, very mechanically inclined individual. And he has a new Newell now too. So kind of cool to see him, in a Newell and staying in the Newell family. Now up front here, these will spin around, but up front, we've got that same upholstery here in front of your passenger chair. Now, one of the big advantages of a mid-entry Newell coach is this area right here. If you're traveling with pets, a lot of times the pets want to hang out here. They're not worried about a stairwell. Your passenger has their own kind of cocoon area here. And if the driver needs to pull up and fuel up that big 200-gallon diesel fuel tank, the driver can walk right by you, not interrupt the passenger princess and the pets hanging out in front of the mid-entry. Now this sofa will turn into sleeping. It's all villa furniture. And then coming into the galley, and to get a bath and a half mid-entry floor plan, this is just such a rare coach to touch at this price point. I mean, where else are you gonna get a Series 60 motor, bath and a half, Newell coach chassis? It's just $140,000, just an incredible opportunity. Now, I love the color of these cabinets. If you were gonna do remodel stuff, the hardest thing to change is gonna be the color of these bulkhead walls and cabinets. These are very modern, similar to some of the newer Newell coaches. And we recently saw a video on a remodel where someone took a Newell of this vintage and basically gutted it and brought it like a brand new Newell coach. That was Newell coach 601. So actually a few coaches before this coach, and I think that was a bath and a half floor plan as well. But just, the bones alone have so much value in these coaches. Now, I don't think this coach really needs a full gut. I think the remodel work that the previous owner spent really has it looking nice. So man, I get excited when I see these coaches at this price point. So this is all your standard Newell coach controls. You can start and stop your generator here. It does have an alarm. You can lock and unlock your refrigerator door. You've got your twin air compressors, your aqua hot controls, dump valves. You can monitor your holding tanks. waste tanks. Does have a dishwasher here. That's a Fisher Paykel dishwasher. And some good drawer space here. And everything is clean in this coach. I see, a little bit of wear and tear like at the bottom of this drawer, but no funny smells or anything. Sometimes when you go into coaches of this vintage, you start getting all kinds of smells. Definitely not the case here. And then you got a little pull-out spot for your trash receptacle, similar to what they're doing in the late model Newells. Now, coming to this part of the coach, it is a split galley with the refrigerator and freezer across from the convection microwave and cooktop. This does have that Gaggenau cooktop as well. And then we've got some deep pantry space here and adjustable shelving. And then one of the big advantages of this mid-entry with the half bathroom is if you're entertaining and you've got guests or kids hanging out outside and they need to come into the bathroom, you go right in that mid-entry. You're either going right to your refrigerator or right into your half bathroom. And I'm just so impressed the way Newell, upholsters the walls, floor to ceiling. You have a vent with a fan, and then a nice medicine cabinet space back here. It's super high quality. I mean, you can hear that when I close those cabinet doors. Really nice half bathroom here. Hanging bar on this side of the door. And then does have a pocket door here, so we can close this door going into the bedroom. Does have a full length mirror. You can see, all the air compressors are working. This is an owner that's really maintained this coach. And coming back here, guys, this is the highlight of this coach. A huge rear bedroom here with a king size bed. And I want to show you guys this real quick. It does have a Brooklyn bedding mattress. The owner of this coach did use the coupon code Andrew Steele to get a discount on this mattress. And I talked to him earlier today, and he did say that he really misses this mattress and he wishes that it was in his newer Newell coach, but he'll have to use that coupon code to buy another one. But huge rear suite, and they have it staged here if your wife is going to have her diamonds on display there. I love the staging Motorhomes of Texas does. And then it's got the drop floor slide here. We've got a little bit of cabinet space. Now there are locks on these cabinet doors. They're not locked right now. I wonder what the reasoning for locking those would be. You learn something new every day. And then I also want to point out that there is no cabinets overhead of the bed. So you've got this real wide open rear bedroom, no closet space either, a recliner in the corner, just a really cool floor plan. And then this has been heavily updated back here. These floors actually remind me of the floors I've seen in some of the more late model Newell coaches. Also, this sconce light up here has like a crystal texture to it. I don't know if the camera can get it. And then you got those tube lights, and now we have closets along the back of the coach here, very well lit, lined with carpet. There's a couple little staining here. I mean, it's, you're getting a triple slide bath and a half for 140 grand. There's gonna be a couple little wear and tear items, but overall, just excellent condition. You got pull-out drawers. Again, there's some staining in that rear carpet. That's not uncommon. Looks like they've got some stuff stored back here right now, but nice closets in the rear of the coach. And then you got those full-length mirrors across the back of the coach. Really nice and bright. And then check out this shower. Now, I've got to give it a shower test. I am 6'2", and I'm right under that shower comfortably, but this is a much more updated shower head. And then look at that tile backsplash there. It does have the second shower head as well. So 2 brass shower heads, more tile work here. Beautiful tiles in this shower. You can definitely tell it was heavily updated. And when I look at the quality of this remodel, I'm not sure if this was done at Newell Coach or how much of the remodel work was done at Newell Coach. Usually a coach like this with a lot of miles, it's going to require a lot of maintenance. The previous owner was staying up on that maintenance, keeping up on things, and it really shows in this coach. This coach is currently available here at Motorhomes of Texas in Nacogdoches, Texas for $140,000. Now, if you're looking at other coaches on the market that start to get into this price point, one of the huge things that's going to affect value on Newells of this vintage is having a rear bathroom only. So there's some other cheap coaches I've seen on the market, but with only a rear bath. I've talked about that in the past, and I think that's the worst floor plan for resale value, because if you have guests in your coach, they got to walk all the way through your room into the rear bathroom. So being a bath and a half, Detroit Diesel Series 60, Newell coach triple slide, just an incredible opportunity for someone. You can get more information on this coach at motorhomesoftexas.com. We greatly appreciate Motorhomes of Texas for having us out here today to look at some of their beautiful coaches. And we appreciate all of you liking, sharing, and subscribing, and hope you're all having a great day. Thanks again.